Okay, so I thought, well, I got a new Discovery Set, first of all, and here it is. And I was very excited to dive into it, but I wasn't feeling super camera ready or, to do a big filming. And I was also on the fence about whether to do this as like an unboxing and first impressions, because I haven't done like a fun on camera spray react in a while. Or to try them out and then give them that full review. And I said, let's do a little bit of everything. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of everything. You got me casual in my bed and sort of, I don't know, again, not camera ready, really cash. We've got the box and we're going to go through and spray and do some first impressions. And then I will do my fair wear test throughout the week. I'll give them all big sprays and be able to comment more specifically about what notes I pick up and the longevity and the projection and all that fun stuff. So this is my Vilhelm Parfumerie. Again, very open to criticism if I'm not pronouncing correctly. This brand, where did it even come to my attention? I can't even tell you. I've been seeing it around, particularly the one that caught my eye. The reason I wanted to pick this up was Poets of Berlin. I had heard that had a blueberry note, and that was like sticking in my craw. Craw's like a bad thing, right? It was sticking in my craw in a positive way. About the blueberry piece of it. While I haven't been that into fresh scents, as you probably know, we are coming into spring. I'm looking for a touch of something poppy and positive and bright. So I thought that was an interesting note. But that's the one I was most familiar with. I had also seen some positive news on Room Service and Dear Polly. So those are the other two that I've heard the names of, but I wasn't super familiar with the notes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the sample set, first of all, is from Saks. I didn't get it from my beloved sales associate, unfortunately, because she only represents Penhaligon's, L'Artisan Parfumerie, and poor Christian Louboutin, which I'm probably never going to buy from. But I did get this from Saks. The price was very decent. It was $36 for this cute little box and all these samples. So I thought that was pretty decent. And the samples that I have that we'll go through are Morning Chess, Dear Polly, Mango Skin, Room Service, Basilo and Fellini, and Poets of Berlin. There they are. I like the packaging. There's some texture on this box here, if that shows up. You know how I love a texture? And the bright spring color is exactly my mood at this moment here. This, it's a kind of, I don't know how it's showing up on camera because I have this like bright table lamp there, but it's a very clementine-y kind of color. Yellow and orangey in the middle there. And even the boxes, there's like some slight tint differences between them. It's very pretty, is my point. Okay, so the first one I'm going to try here is Morning Chess. This one I was not familiar with. It's 2 milliliters. It's 2 mil. I'm just reading it from the box. I guess the boxes look decent size. Like this looks like, we're getting spontaneous. Like these little chapsticks I have. Like I guess, like I'm picturing something like this chapstick size with this box, but 2 milliliters actually doesn't sound like a lot. So maybe it's not as fabulous a deal as I thought. Okay, let's not start negative. We're excited for spring. We're positive. Oh, it's a bit dainty. It has a cute little yellow top, so that's good. But it's a bit dainty. Can you actually see my head here? I might cut this off. I'm going to lean back a little bit. Yeah, so this is Morning Chess. Cute little orangey clementine top, but it's a standard sample size. I guess I thought they'd be a little bit bigger from the boxes, and they're not. Morning Chess. I'm going to have to go with my gut here and what I'm smelling, and after I do my full review, I will add the actual notes. Okay, Morning Chess is giving me more chess than morning. I think what I'm picking up is more masculine than feminine. There's like a soft velvetiness to it. I want to say there's like a leathery vibe to it. Not super, super leathery though, like just soft. Like it has like that smoothness to it that you get with men's cologne. That's like a Veveter or Tonka or something like that. That adds a smoothness to it with the leather. It's pretty. As you can see, I'm getting kind of close to myself. Yeah. I would say this one is, it's certainly not repulsive. It's kind of nice. This is just the opening too, so I don't know what the dry down is going to be like. But I would say this is a smooth, leathery, masculine. Not my spring that I'm looking for yet, but okay. Probably not going to be quite what I'm looking for, but we will do full tests and I will report back on how this wore when I wear it for a full day. All right, so that first impression unboxing was filmed in February. It is now April. I'm sorry. It's been busy. You don't need to know all the details, but there are some upsides for you because you got to know what's in it for you. The upside is that I now know these fragrances very, very well. I've had a very ample opportunity to wear them and try them out. I now know these fragrances about as well as I know. I don't want to say my kids. I know my kids better than I know these fragrances because they're kids. Once they become teenagers, they'll probably know my fragrances better than my kids. But at the moment, I would say I know these fragrances about as well as I know my first cousins. Let's say that. All right, so let me just dive in because this video is going to be long enough. All right, so morning chest. This still is in the realm of masculine for me, even more so than unisex. If you look at the notes, you know, there's nothing in the notes that screams masculine. You know, it's got the bergamot. I'm going to put them up on the screen. The leather is very prominent. It's very smooth. I think it's the patchouli. I love patchouli, you know that. But there's still something about it that rings masculine to me. It has a nice cloud to it. It does project fairly well. Lasting power is just okay. But what I would say is it's a classy gent perfume. It doesn't scream youth to me either. It's more grown up man. Classy, well-dressed. It can breed casual if you have like a nice sweater on. I think this would be a fit for you too. A little intellectual, kind of what they're going for with the name too. I think they pull it off. And it is a nice scent. Not one that I would reach for or buy a full bottle of because it does lean too masculine to me. But I would say it's a good scent overall. I recommend it for a fella. Next one is Dear Polly. This is another one that I said I had heard of, but have not smelled and I don't know the notes. I'm gonna try not to rip these cute little boxes. Okay. To other arm here. We're gonna run out of space as usual, but okay. This has like a citrusy, like a lime. I'm picking up like a lime for sure. Maybe a bergamot, limey. Is limey an insult? Maybe like a hint of like tea or lemon or tea. I think tea. It reminds me like a teeny bit of Unknown Pleasures, just in that like lemon tea-ish vibe. A very different scent. That one's a lot sweeter than this one. This one's more of a fresh, sharp lime, at least in the opening. I kind of like this one. Yeah, I kind of like this one. It fits closer to my spring vibe that I'm looking for. I like the tea-ness about it. It does remind me a little bit just in the fact that it's a fresh tea fruit scent, a little bit of my Jo Malone's. I don't know if this one's going to project better or it's going to have a more complex dry down, last longer, any of that yet. I will let you know. But as far as my first impression of this scent, I do like it. It's not my usual. It's something different. It has a little bit of complexity going on with the tea and the lime mixed together. It's a soft, positive first impression, I would say, from me. Dear Polly. Okay, so the short answer is I like Dear Polly. And I'll tell you in a second why I would not purchase a full bottle of it though. So this is a tea scent. It has, it's got a freshness to it, a fruitiness to it, a sweetness to it, but a very pronounced tea note to it. I like the projection on this. I like how it wears. I would say if you like a tea scent, to check this one out. It's a great one. The reason that it's not full bottle worthy for me is because it absolutely reminds me of Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene, which if you've been watching my videos, is one of my favorite scents of all time. This one is more tea and less lemon, which makes sense because this one doesn't actually, I don't think, have lemon. I think it's more of a, if I'm remembering correct, apple bergamot is where it's getting like that fruit element to the tea, but they both share the tea. But but I think there's more lemon. It's more cookie-ish, more lemonish with Unknown Pleasures, and I really like it. I prefer it. So I would say these are very similar. So if you like a tea scent, you'd probably like both of those. I prefer Unknown Pleasures versus Dear Polly, but this is also a good one. I like the scent. It wears well, projects pretty well. Again, comparing the two, which maybe, I would say it's unfair. I think the price point on these is actually a little bit higher on the Wilhelm, so I will say that it is a fair comparison. I will say that the kerosene does last and project a bit longer, but this wasn't super disappointing. It's definitely a good, solid tea scent. Here we are, mango skin. All right, I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be some mango in here. It's been a long day, I swear. That's why I had to go do this perfume video. And the fact that it says mango skin, I mean, I wonder if that's referring to like skin, or if that's referring to like the skin of a mango and it's gonna have like a rind kind of element to it too. I don't know. We'll find out. Don't overthink it. I do like the yellow tops. I just wish they were bigger. I don't know. I don't know why I thought they were bigger. That's on me, I guess. I'm doing wrist back on this arm, a little farther down. Oh, okay. This is reminding me of something. Be helpful if I can narrow it down to what. It does have, okay, so definitely has that fruitiness. It definitely has that mango, that tartness. Like if I hadn't said mango on it, I might have guessed that it was something more like a grapefruit. It has like that tartness to it. And it has like a little bit of like a musky or like animalistic kind of, so maybe like that sourness, spoiledness, rotting in the sunness. Maybe also like that, because I said grapefruit. That grapefruit, when I say grapefruit, usually I mean like it's got like that BO twist to it. So something's happening here. I don't hate it. It's not a ringing endorsement, right? But I mean it as a positive. So far I'm not like drowning in these scents either. I've been giving them like 2 sprays, and I mean, maybe there's a cloud around me, but as far as like, they don't seem like they're beast mode to me. And I don't really know if Wilhelm goes for beast mode or if they go for lighter. I'm not that familiar enough to the brand, but I'll do more research before I do my final impressions here with what they're known for in terms of the longevity, projection, etc. But so far, I have to really kind of get in. Yeah, so maybe even like a powderiness. Is that crazy? But I am getting, I would say, that fruit, and then there's something behind it that's like a little dirtier, like a little bit more sweaty. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not quite what I'm looking for, but these are all just first impressions. A lot of times if things don't smell how I think they're going to smell in a first impression, I'm either blown away and then, you know, some of that charm wears off, or I'm on the fence and I'm not sure, and then after I give it like a day of wear, I come away with like, oh, the dry down was amazing, or it lasted like this, or I fell in love as I kept smelling myself, you know, things like that. That's why I don't like to leave it at first impressions. I like to do the part 2. Mango skin. Okay, I'm laughing because I'm remembering the last time I sprayed it. All right, so mango skin, I've actually worn this one quite a bit. It's not 'tis the season for mango skin over here yet. It's like 40 degrees. But I have, you can see I kind of made a very big dent in these. I have actually worn this one quite a bit. I know it's very popular, and I am on the hunt for something for summer. So I was kind of trying to make this one work. And does it? Kind of. I think I mentioned it has like that little bit of that rind skin quality to it. That's what they're going for. They're pulling it off. There's also a powderiness to me in the dry down, but it definitely keeps the fruit. That fruit definitely stays. I am sort of a fan of it. I do like it. And I've been wearing it. We'll probably keep wearing it. The reason I was laughing is because the most recent time I wore it, my husband smelled it and hated it. And I think it's the only one I could point to that he's really hated. There was one really early on that he thought smelled like a pool. I won't name it because I don't want to bash it because it was a good scent. But generally, he's usually either kind of fine with it. He's like, I like it fine, or he can't smell it, or he loves it. So the fact that he kind of reacted very poorly to this one was interesting to me. And he described it as too sweet. that if you bite into something that's too sweet and it kind of hurts your teeth, he said that's the reaction that it gave him upon smelling it, just this visceral, too sweet kind of reaction. I could see it. As I said, especially with the dry down, I do find that it gets a little more powdery, a little more sexy, a little bit more skin, but it does keep that fruit element. So I think in his mind, just that mango has that that bite of it, that sweet bite of it to him. And he found it a little off-putting. So I probably won't buy a full bottle of something my husband finds that repulsive. If I loved it, if I couldn't live without it, I probably would still buy it. We're not together 24 hours a day, and I mostly wear my perfumes for me. But since he has that unpleasant reaction to it, and it's still just sort of so-so in my mind, I will probably finish the sample and no more. Next one is room service, which I have heard positive things about. Again, nothing specific as far as the notes, but I see it thrown around here and there. Facebook, Instagram, etc. We did elbow last time. We'll do wrist now on this arm. Well, these are somewhat layerable. Also, I'm spraying my pillow a little bit, so hopefully it's not a terrible bedtime scent. What the heck is this? Okay. There's some kind of fruit. Not like a tropical, not like a berry either. This is going to be something like a fig or something like that, like something where it's a berry or a fruit, but it's not like a super juicy one. It's got like a sophisticated element to it too. Sophisticated fruit. That's a thing. Oh my goodness, what the heck is this? I kind of like the scent, I guess, right off the bat. I will say I like the scent. I like that it's defying me here and it's being difficult. I like that it's a little hard to place. I think it leans a little more feminine too. Yeah, I kind of like this one. I wish it was a little bit more in my face, a little stronger, as I always do. Maybe my expectations are too high and I don't know. But I do like the feminine energy it's giving off. I like the burst of sophisticated, more mature fruitiness I'm getting from this. It's not all the way summery, but it has a pleasantness and a freshness to it too. I'm really interested to see what the notes are in room service. I don't know. I was really unhelpful there, huh? Some sort of fruit. I'm interested to see what the dry down is too, if this turns a little bit more powdery or stays kind of like fresh here. I don't know. I will laugh if I watch this video back and like half my head is cut off. I'm sorry. That's how eager I was to do perfumes and not eager to mess around with my camera. Here's my favorite. This is room service. It's my favorite. I think because it's unique in my mind. The thing about it is it's well blended. So, it's very smooth. It's got a fruitiness to it, but unlike mango, the fruit is very smooth. And I looked it up. It's black currant, which makes sense. And it has this powdery woodiness to it, but also this animalic. So it kind of clings to you, becomes part of you. I think I actually kind of picture it, like I like the room service name because it does feel upscale, like upscale hotel. You're kind of eating those grapes or currants, I guess, in this case, and your champagne, maybe a little bubbliness to it. I like its vibe. I like the cut of its jib. It's not a projection powerhouse. It's not a longevity powerhouse. I would say it starts off more of a skin scent and stays that way. I did lend it to my mother recently. We went down and visited her, and I had her wear it for the day, and I could smell it right off the bat with her. It was lovely, but then it faded pretty quickly. So I think this would be more one that I would hold on to and wear just for me if I wanted just something a little more feminine, subtle, pretty, upscale, but not something to blow the room away. But the notes work very beautifully together, and I am a fan of this one, and I can't compare it directly to anything else in my collection either. I do think the notes in here and how they're combined is very unique. So possibly full bottle worthy. I'll look out for a sale, but I'm going to keep my eye out. Most likely get a bottle of this at some point. Okay, I've got two more. Basilico and Fellini, like a nice Italian. I don't know what that means. Basil and fettuccine. But I won't be shocked if there's basil in here, I guess, is where I'm going with this. But I don't know what Fellini is. I'll have to Google it or do my Duolingo. I'm totally out of space for the most part here and here. I think we're just going to do like a top of arm. What did I do in my Sephora video where I had to spray like 35 perfumes? Ignore my face. It's an opening. Openings sometimes are weird. It's weird though. It's reminding me of like pesto sauce. Maybe because I saw basil. It's very herbal. It's very herbal. Yeah, it smells like a plant to me. I'm going to see what the dry down is on this. I'm not like loving the initial spray. It really smells like I've been chopping herbs in my kitchen, which is not something I really want to smell like. Like a grocery store. It smells like a grocery store, but like the produce section. It's not disgusting, so ignore my face for sure. It doesn't smell like a perfume to me, in the sense that like, you know, I mean, I guess you want to smell like a coffee shop sometimes. I love Follow from Kerosene, and that's smelling like a coffee shop, but I guess I never really wanted to smell like a grocery store. Is that the problem? I don't know. See what the dry down's like. Again, sometimes these things have wacky openings and then the beautiful dry downs, and maybe. I know my laughter seems fake, but it's really... Okay, I respect it. I respect this one for sure. And the dry down is not as in your face as the initial spray. The initial spray, you saw my reaction, is straight up, I am gardening, I think. And it has grass in here too. I just looked up, I looked up the notes. It has for sure the basil that I knew about. It also has hay and green grass in it. Oh boy, it's so farmy. But I don't know, like Whole Foods farmy, I guess, like your upscale grocery store maybe. The dry down is a little powdery, but it keeps that greenery to it. If that is a note that speaks to your heart and you want something super unique and outside the box, I mean, certainly this is it. Or if you're going to be going into your garden and want to really lean in, yeah, you're here. This is kind of a literal one, which doesn't match up with the other ones that I've tried from this house. So I was taken off guard by how literal this was. This kind of reminds me a little bit more of like the Etat Libre d'Orange. I know my pronunciation's terrible, with where they try to have like that outside the box avant-garde. This is a little avant-garde in my mind. I don't know. Am I being a coward? I'm a little bit of a fragrance coward, so not unpleasant in the dry down, but it's not, again, something I would want to necessarily smell like. And that initial grassy smell that kind of turned my stomach in the initial spray does kind of stick around, although it fades, and I don't love it. But it's cool. I mean, if you could get a sample of this, I recommend you get one. And if you like to smell things that are interesting and fun, give this one a whirl. I think it would be fun for those of you who enjoy that. But as far as wearability, for me, I find this one too low on the wearability scale there. And then my last one was the one that I was looking forward to trying here. Poets of Berlin. Just like, to clean my lens here. It looks all cloudy. Anyway, Poets of Berlin. As I said, I'm looking forward to some blueberry action. For sure. Something spring. I have high hopes. I say that in like half my videos, right? All my videos, high hopes. Of course. I mean, where else would... I'm hoping this is trash and I wasted my money. That's ridiculous, All right, we're doing top of arm here. It's a weird spot. 2 sprays, like all the rest of them. Okay. Okay, so my arm, first of all, is getting a little confusing with all the scents on it. So this is a little bit muddy. It's not science. It's reminding me of something. What the heck is it reminding me of? Like maybe one of my Julianas. It's got like a little bit of scratchiness to it. I want to say it's reminding me of like when I first got maybe Aurora from Juliana's that was a Baccarat Rouge dupe or something. But when I first got it, I had a little difficulty picking up the notes out of it. And it had just sort of like a little bit of a blurred scratchiness to it. And then eventually I was able to kind of pick out the notes. And that's reminding me, I think, of that one. You know what else is funny too is the fact that I don't have blueberry. I've got nothing blueberry, and sometimes you have to kind of like train your nose because I'm really not getting that burst of fresh blueberry that I was hoping for. And I know that's the lead note here, but it could just be me. Maybe I have to train myself up to be able to pick that up because really I would say what I'm getting is um like that sharpness, like a sharpness. It's not vanilla. There seems to be like a bergamottiness to it. I'm gonna be way off on these notes and be like, what the hell? But that's kind of what I'm getting is just like this, like a little bit of like a scratchy quality, like a little bit of a sweetness, but it's kind of a confusing sweetness where I'm kind of struggling to pull out the actual notes of it. And I've had a perfume like this before, and it sort of just needed to settle, and I needed to train my nose to be able to kind of pull out the notes. Um, it's kind of a disappointing first impression for the one that I was the most hyped for. Is that it? I haven't filmed in so long and I was having so much fun. I'm kind of disappointed this is the last one. I'll have to film some back-to-back videos or something. I'm in a mood now. Okay, so Poets, the one I was most excited about, the one I really wanted to justify buying. Okay. My kingdom for some blueberries. I don't know what I expected. Maybe this is pretty blueberry and it's just like, you know, like actual bowl of blueberries, and I don't know. Maybe I was expecting something a little bit more sweet and berry-ish. Blueberry is kind of a unique note, so maybe in my mind I was thinking it would be something a little bit more juicy and sweet, and it's not that. It's a lot more subtle. You know, I guess I pictured something really bright and fresh, and I would not say that this is it. Again, not an unpleasant scent for sure. I just can't pull out the notes in the manner in which I had hoped to and wanted to. It doesn't scream summer to me. And then it also, I think there's a note here that I don't pick up well. So if you love this scent, you might be picking up something in here. I smell it now. It actually kind of smells nice. Damn it. I haven't tried it in like a week. Okay. Yeah, there might be a note in here that I'm not picking up so well because it does remain like a little scratchy to me. Yeah. I'm close. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep trying. I just sprayed it now, honestly, and that initial burst was like, kind of nice. So maybe it's something I just need to work a little harder at being able to kind of pull out the notes in here. I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm missing out on. You know, sometimes, again, I know that I struggle with certain notes and getting them. I don't get lemon. There's lemon in here. That's what I was excited for, was that lemon blueberry. I don't get the lemon whatsoever. And the blueberry doesn't smell like I expected to. You know, I would say for me, it's mostly like kind of a scratchy vanilla. Did I get a bad sample? Is there something I'm not pulling out of here? Can I not smell blueberry well? As far as I know, I have not had COVID. But I can't really pull out what I want to pull out of this one. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. But of the ones that I've tried for sure, I really was most excited for Poets. But I think if I'm going to get any bottles, it's really going to be room service, and that's it. I would try more from this house. I think the price point is decent. The quality is good. The scents are fun. And not too, I don't know, boring. I think they're pretty fun scents, and the price point is where it should be. So I'm going to keep trying from this house. I know they have other sample sets, and I'm going to keep trying to see if I want any more full bottles and look out for a sale on room service. But that is my review. I'm sorry it took so long, and I will probably upload more. I really pride myself on not filming when I'm not in the mood. You know, I always say I upload whenever it strikes my fancy, and if it did not strike my fancy for many reasons for a month, that's what happened. I skipped March. If you do enjoy fragrance content, please subscribe to Second is the Best. If you've tried this house or you want me to try others from this house, please let me know that in the comments. That is all for this one. I will see you in the next one.